Hey everybody, Lawrence here with Dirty Basement Terrain, coming at you with another one. Recently, I made a video expanding on Moss Paste, link down in the description. One of the commenters, Dungeons and Chronics, asked if it would work making Moss Paste with, I think, parsley and oregano would work. I honestly didn't know. But that got me thinking maybe I should try it and figure it out. Well, normally I use Great Value or Walmart brand Italian seasoning or mixed herbs for ground cover on different places, so I decided to use that. What you're about to see is the results. And now I did some comparisons with my standard Moss Paste and basically a mixture of the two, and as you can see, they all look pretty good. Now granted, it's a little glossy, but that's because of the thickness I just slobbed on the test piece. But I want to walk you through. You can see what it looks like, and if you want to try it, go for it. But before we get to it, I want to give a big thanks to my patron members, Dungeon Machin, Corel, and Mia Geek. You guys' help is greatly appreciated, and I can't thank you enough for your monthly support. It does help. Thank you. Of the three I'm going to be making, this is the simplest to do. This is just a matter of taking your mixed herbs, dumping it into a mixing cup, and then adding the PVA tacky glue that I'm using. What you don't want to do is add all the tacky glue at one shot. This will avoid adding too much. Small amounts, mix it up. Small amount, mix it up, till you get to the consistency that you want. I personally don't like it runny, so like I said, I want it to be kind of paste-like, honestly. That's the best way to describe it. I'm making Moss Paste, and I want it to have like a thick paste consistency, so small amounts at a time. But I also want it to be workable, where I can use a brush to act, old beat-up stiff brush to place it wherever I want. Now this batch, I'm doing approximately a 50-50 mix between the herbs and the flocking that I use. I'm using my 3 standard colors of earth, burnt grass, and yellow grass, and just mixing it in there. And as before, when I add the PVA, it just small amounts and mix. And again, just small amounts, mix, small amount, mix. Don't want to add all the PVA all at one shot. But again, like I said, I just wanted to try a 50-50 mix between the two. The one I'm first trying out and my standard Moss Paste. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And here I have a little piece of XPS foam for test strips. I've already mixed. I'm using the Moss Paste I mixed up in my previous video, link in the description, because I'm not going to mix up a new batch when I already have one made. And again, I'm doing 3 relatively similar strips of between thickness and length and width. This way, once it does dry, I can make a judgment call of what I like best. Or maybe even if I want to actually start using another one besides my standard, which I've been using for quite a while. And here I'm actually going to sprinkle some of the yellow flocking on half of it, just because that's what I do sometimes. And here it is, wet and waiting to dry. As you can see here, they're all dry. It's been like 2 days. The mixed herb has a lot of like almost rotted vegetation look to it. Now granted, they've all dried, except where I added the yellow flocking, they've all dried to a gloss but I think that's because of how thick I put it on. So a matte sealer will fix that quick. But consistently, the mixed herb has a very rotted look to it. The mixed urban flock has a very thick moss look to it, and I actually kind of like it. And then, of course, my standard flock mix, it looks like the moss I always use on a lot of my stuff. And as you can see here, the differences between the three. I'm actually liking how all three of them look, and I think I'm going to be using all three in the future. Hey everybody, if you made it this far, you watch the end, and as always, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. My final thoughts is each style of moss paste here, as you can see here, it has its applications and can be used in different places. I think from now on, I'm gonna keep all three on hand, or basically readily, easily to mix and make, because I can see myself using it in different spots. Now, as a general, like small strips, the standard moss paste I make with the flock. For generalized moss, I think I'm going to start going with the mixture because it's kind of knotty, but still has that fine look to it. And for when I want to do like different, like nasty, swampy areas, I'm definitely going to be going with the mixed herb moss paste. But again, it all comes down to what you prefer, because as always, when you're making your terrain, the only person you got to worry about is you, because it's your terrain.